How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel. So you can see by the title, the thumbnail, we are doing something pretty darn cool. Let me show you this first. The CRB color series, and it comes in those colors. So I am building a lime green fishing rod, and let me tell you the specs on this particular rod blank. So it's 7 foot, 1/4 to 3/4 ounce, and it's a moderate fast. Can we see that? Can we see that? So that's the little sticker right there. And so why I wanted to get this particular rod blank and why I wanted to get this particular action and everything. So 7 foot is a really good length for me right now because of fishing from the bank. It's a very good length for that. I've had 7'6" rods, and they're just a little bit too much for me fishing from the bank. I feel like anything above like that 7'3" gets to be a little bit unruly. Even 7'3" is like kind of pushed it for me. So 7 foot was a really good length for me. And then on top of it, this rod is going to be for moving baits. And so specifically, I'm going to use this rod for jerk baits, crank baits, chatter baits, some spinner baits, not even lighter spinner baits, spinner baits, flukes, maybe some light jigs. I feel like this rod can do a lot of different things. I do like the moderate fast action. When deciding on this rod build, I really didn't want to go with a glass rod or a rod specifically just for crankbaits, because I wanted this rod to be as versatile as I could possibly make it, and I felt like this would do the trick. But I wanted something not super heavy, so I went with a medium power and then that moderate fast. And I'm just bending it on the ground right now, and it's like, I feel like it's going to be darn near perfect. So flip it around, and I'll take the little tip protector off. I'll show you what other components I got for the rod. Let me set this down very gently, very carefully. Alright, so for the grip, we are doing a 12-inch full cork grip. And then I got a cork foregrip. And for the back of the grip, I got this trim band that's just gonna go right into the butt. So this is just something to fill that space at the end. So it's just gonna fit right in, and it's just like a little bit of like a decorative like trim piece and everything, but that's gonna go perfect for that. And then I also ordered this CRB, just straight black, real seed. So I mean, without further ado, let's just get right into it. Let's build this rod. All right, we have our grease pencil. And what I'm doing right now is it's only the second, I'm gonna say this is the third rod I've ever done. Because I did the one from the Bunhole class, I did my Uncle John's rod remake, and now I'm doing this new one for me. And then I have something else in the works too. So right now I'm finding the spine. So it's the snap-in point where the rod is made on that. So right there. So I'm going to mark it with my grease pencil. These are actually like, these glossy blanks are like really hard to mark with this. I guess you could say what I am building is a very non-traditional, kind of crankbait, jerkbait rod, since it's on the faster side for a lot of people. And so let me ever so gently take this off. Is there a seam? Not really. So I'm gonna go from the back end. Because the first thing I'm gonna do is remount these grips, and then I gotta cut this tenon a little bit to fit. And so last time, if you watched the rebuilding my Uncle John's fishing rod, if you watched the rebuilding my Uncle John's rod, you may have seen that on that back butt cork piece, I clear coated, I put the cork seal on it before I put the thread on for the guides, and it just like did not go well. It like left that little yellow ring. So very last thing I'm gonna do is cork seal my handle. And then, oh, let me show you guys the hook hanger that I got. And I did this build on more of a budget, so a lot of the components are just CRB components because they're very affordable. And I'm very happy with the size that I got of this. So here is my, oh, and these are like already like somewhat filed out. So here's my hook hanger. So that's like the kind of style that I got. Because typically I've done like, drop shot style hook hangers, but going in a different direction. So let's just see how this fits so far. I'll show you this. I do have to trim, like I said, I have to trim that tenon down a little bit since that's not flush, which shouldn't be a big deal. And then I will have to, just like in my Uncle John's build, I will have to do some tape harbors for that reel C. Not massive ones, just little ones. Oh my gosh. I might not have to, oh, never mind. I was like, I might not have to like ream that out too much. Like literally the worst step in rod building, reaming out your grips by hand. If you have a power reamer, more power to you, I guess. Cause that hand reaming out, that is a son of a gun, I tell you what. All right, so I got this. Almost perfect. There's like maybe 1/8 of an inch. So we are going to put away the blade. We're not going to cut like that anymore. I'm going to gently bring the cork down. That's going to be the better way to get a perfect fit. This is what turning 25 means. It means your brain is fully developed. you have the proper reasoning skills when you're rod building to put the razor blade away and pick up sandpaper to get a perfect finish. Amazing. Fully developed brain. Who would have thought? Y'all. That is perfect. The fit and finish isn't quite, there is like some overlap right here. Nothing like too major, but just a little bit. I'm trying to be organized while I do this, so I have to get out the smaller size reamer, and I'm going to start from the top, and we are going to gently ream this out. While trying to keep it straight so the handle doesn't go on crooked. Ask me how I know that. So like with hand reaming, first you want gloves, then you want to put them on right. I tell you what though, cork is a lot better. No, I think EVA is better. EVA seems like a lot softer, and then you don't really want to do this in your work area too much. You want to do this over the trash can. But I'm gonna vacuum up everything, so it don't matter too much. Alright, and the important thing is one, getting your ream straight, and two, not over reaming. Oh my gosh, and we have quite a ways to go. Y'all, gotta be careful, just like 7-foot rods. 7-foot rod things, you know. We got it mocked up. I had to tape the end a little bit so it fits snug in there, and I can just, you know, put some of the Pro paste on there. Then we got the reel seat. I love the shiny finish of this. And I reamed this out a little too much. And honestly, this got reamed maybe a little bit too much too, but I gotta put the tape arbors on for this, so I'm going to mark out the spots with my grease pen here. This got reamed out a little too much. Might make a tiny arbor for that as well. I got some winding checks though that will go over there and cover it up, and it'll look good. It'll look good. This is only the 3rd rod I've ever made. So, everything's all flush back here. That's in there well. That cork is flush. That's flush. I'm gonna take my grease pen and I'm gonna mark out on there. Here. I'll actually just slide that up a little bit, and I'm going to do this. We'll see. Alright, so I'm going to put an arbor. Let's just completely take this reel seat off. I think it'll be easier instead of that just hanging around. Take my tape, and right here, is that better? Is that gonna show up better? So right there, the tip of my finger, I'm just gonna go back about 1/4 of an inch, and I'm gonna make that first tape arbor. just build the tape up, and talking with one of the instructors about longevity and durability of just these masking tape arbors, and he's like, oh yeah, he's like, I've reused rod blanks, you know, I've stripped them down, and he's like, I've used the same tape arbors. He's like, they hold up really well because they're just like completely covered in that pro paste. Just trying to keep these as straight and squared up as I can. Back where this one is, I'm going to put it right there, probably about a ½ inch from where that's going to end. And build it up to about the same thickness. I want it pretty much the same thickness. And the great thing is, with these, you just like, you put the reel seat on to fit them, and if it's like a little bit off, if it's too big, you just take some tape off. If it's too small, you just add a little bit more tape. And like the fit and finish on this rod will not be quite as perfect, just because of some of the like little bit minor mistakes I made with over reaming and stuff like that. But and honestly, it doesn't seem like these affect like sensitivity whatsoever, because when I rebuilt my Uncle John's rod and I added tape arbors to it, and I put those lighter, smaller guides on instead of those big, heavy double foot guides, let me tell you what, I can feel everything. Okay, I have my pro paste set up, so very quickly I'm gonna start adding pro paste to everything. I'm gonna start down here, and I'm sorry if I don't get the best camera angles. I'm sorry if, oh no, trim some of my paints. Sorry for camera angles. Oh my gosh, I didn't mix up that much. So I'm sorry, the camera angles aren't that great. I'm sorry if you're not seeing much, but I am just trying to, this stuff sets pretty fast, so I'm just trying to get it on there. As quick as I can. So, I got all of that on. Typically this wouldn't go on this way, but since I reamed it out quite a bit, like, it's just, it is what it is. So, twist this on so that pro paste can get everywhere. Oh, that fits pretty nice right now. It has that extra on it, there's a little more friction. Get a little bit of this extra off. I'm actually just gonna bring it down here. I'll just wipe that extra off as well. You don't have a ton of time with this, but if you have time to do this and make adjustments and everything. Okay. Make sure I'm not getting any on the blank. Gonna bring the reel seat up, twist it around. Going to get my foreground grip on. And there's extra there that I need to wipe off. Sure. That's flush. Make sure everything is nice and tight. So I'm gonna I got a shop towel here. We're going to wipe off that excess so that doesn't get into our locking threads. And you know what? I totally did this uneven. That's all good. Now I got this butt right here. I have just, oh no, come with me. So I have this butt right here with the locking for the back. I'll make sure this has a very generous coating of Pro Paste as well to go into the end of that. Since it's decorative, I don't want to have a ton of it seeping out and twist and twist and twist, but it'll all be hidden back there. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. Alright, now while we have time, this is the most important step. See how my real seat is? Let me get some of that glue off my hands because I don't want to mark up the rod. So I'm gonna go back and I gotta find where I put my spline mark. Flip this around. I gotta find where I put my spline mark because I gotta line that all up. Oh, here we go. Found it. It's very faint. Probably, let me go over it again. Let me make it longer too. I'm going to set this aside and we're good to go. Our next step, I'm just gonna throw this away. Our next step is going to be wrapping guides and epoxying those. All right, we're to this point. I'm going to put the hook hanger on first, and since I have a left-handed reel, I'm going to put it on the left side here. I already marked out my guide spacings. I put the tip on. Y'all, I got the tip on perfectly straight on my first try. I put it on, gave it a little twist, and I looked at it and it was perfect. And one thing that I did see when getting these guides and this hook hanger is an important thing when you are building a rod is to help that up a little, maybe you'll focus on this. So the important thing when you're building a rod is you want to take some sandpaper or an emery board and you want to grind off that foot so it's flat, and so that way your thread works up that line guide a lot easier. And so when you're doing that, sometimes you can get a burr on the opposite side, and that if you leave that burr, that can dig into your rod blank, and over time you can like really damage and you're probably gonna break your rod with that happening. So make sure checking your guides after you sand them down. But let's get into it. Let's throw some down. All right, we we got the tension adjusted, and we broke out a new razor blade. All right, well the hook hanger's on there. Let's get this thin. Let's get some nice clean wraps. Y'all, this green and this black is gonna look sick. Alright. And that's on enough. Can remove that one. Oh, I have an idea too. Since this is double-footed, I'm not quite sure how we are going to get that to feed under to look like real nice. To look like seamless. I don't want like a screen space. I want it to just be continuous, and I didn't like really look at anything to like help me. Have an idea. I'm going to take this piece of tape off. And what if I just feed it under to get it under, and just use my burring tool, my burnishing tool, just to get all of those threads flat. At this point, I'm just kind of talking to myself and working my idea out. Yeah, it's about where I want it. Yeah, that looks good. It's nice and it's in there too. Yeah, we're gonna do that. That's gonna take a while to do. So there is only one minor spot that doesn't look like where I was working. Okay. So you can see it right there. So where I was coming across, there's a little bit of green exposed. It's not a big deal, and then there's a little bit of silver showing. Other than that, that looks pretty good. And our first one's done, and that took forever, honestly. Alright, so I have my mermaid. I want the mermaid facing up. So I'm gonna put her right here. I just gotta space this out a little bit. Right here. Actually, that'll be perfect if I need to do a wrap right there for my mermaid. So that is what we are going to do. I'm just going to make a wrap for her. My little lady will go right there. I'll probably put her on though at the end. I'm gonna wrap some guides. Alright. Flipping the first guide complete. And it looks pretty good. Looks pretty even. So I'm gonna wrap the rest up. And I'm probably not gonna do it on video because it's been frustrating. But I'll show you the finished product. That's cool with y'all. Alright, so we are all finished up with the rod build. And then I went ahead and I put on this lose reel, if you might remember, that I got for $8. And I was like, I'm gonna go fishing this morning, so I have something very specific rigged up here for that. I have a floating Rapala Carolina rigged. Colorado rigged. But anyway, this is all done and it's super. I gotta try it out just a little bit. At a pond, I threw it on a spinnerbait and it was perfect for that. And I think it's gonna be just an amazing rod for jerk baits, crankbaits, spinnerbaits, maybe some light jigs, some top water. Like, this rod will be able to do a lot of stuff and that's why I chose this full length cork handle, this 12-inch one. Just because when I am fishing like crankbaits, I kind of like to get it tucked in. So the specs on this rod, I think I've mentioned it before, but this is a 7-foot, which is like, I think, a sweet spot for doing a lot of different things. So it's a 7-foot, medium, moderate, fast. And it can throw baits. Move out of the way, bait. 1/4 to 3/4 of an ounce. So you can throw quite a few things on this, but that's gonna do it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and we will see you for the next one.